Hello there, I'm Dr. Sudhakar here. I'm here to present you a session on research opportunities. Many of the people who are interested to do research, many of the people who are already into research, the most difficult problem they face before commencing any research would be understanding the research opportunities. So, in this presentation, I'm going to showcase various research opportunities which are available based on the problems which we encounter in our daily life or in the industry, through which you will able to develop an attitude to find the research opportunities that will help you to kickstart your research without any kind of delays. Before understanding the research opportunities, it is very essential for us to be very clear when and why the research is required. Until otherwise we answer to this question, investing our time, money, and energy to conduct research will be of no use. So it's very important for us to know when and why the research is required. So I have listed on some of the factors when the research is required. The first one is when there is no information available in your particular area. Definitely the research is required. Number two is when the existing information is not sufficient to take a decision. I'm sure there must be some information which is already available in the literature, but that information may not be solving the requirement of taking a particular decision in a most reliable way. Then definitely you can involve in research. The third factor is when different solutions are required for tackling a particular problem. There is nothing called as one problem, one solution, but a problem can have several solutions. There are sometimes the solution what was initially found may not be very effective. So people would have still tried and come out with the different solutions. So when we are having different solutions, we'll able to tackle the problem in a most effective way. The other factor is when there is a need to understand a new problem and to develop new solution for the problem. For example, if you take COVID-19, after COVID-19 outbreak happened in India, scientists from across India, not just in India, across the globe, they were spending the time, money, and energy to understand COVID-19, to develop vaccine for COVID-19, and also to come out with the concept how COVID-19 transmissions can be easily stopped. So whenever there is a new problem, definitely there is a research required. The other factor is when there is a need to advance the existing knowledge. The knowledge, what we have today, may not be the same tomorrow. There is always a constant change which is happening. So it's very important we'll have to advance the existing knowledge so that all the evolution which is happening, all the changes which are happening can be easily analyzed, documented, which could be used as a reference for taking various decisions. Finally, when there is a need to create new product or services, you look at any industry, they cannot be running their business with the first product or services they had introduced in their company. They'll have to find ways to innovate the new product or services so that they can be staying competitive in the market and also ensure that the customers are retained with the business. In case if you are not creating new product or new services, definitely the competitors will invest time, money, and energy to create new product and services. Obviously, customers want something always best. So the customer may be moving to the competitors. So when you are facing any of these situations, definitely you can be sure that you can involve in research, you can invest time, money, and the energy, which will help you to come out with fruitful results from your research study, which is not just going to be published, but also it's going to be used for tackling various problems. It could be from the personal life or it could be from the profession. And also it helps you to build up new knowledge, which could be used as a reference to conduct the future research. So the first and foremost thing is you will have to understand why and when the research is required. So after knowing why and when the research is required, we'll have to understand how our research is going to create an impact as an individual, as a researcher, how it's going to create an impact for other stakeholders. The stakeholders here, so it could be customers, or it could be the employees working in the industries, or it could be policymakers, or it could be government, or it could be the society. It could be anyone who are directly or indirectly connected with your research, and how they are going to be impacted. Are they going to be impacted positively, or are they going to be impacted negatively? It is very important. All the research endeavors should result in a positive impact for the stakeholders or other simply collecting information. People think that research has to be impactful. It has to be beneficial for the researcher. It has to be beneficial for other stakeholders who are directly or indirectly involved in any of the research endeavors. So impact research should result in creating maximum benefit for the people in the one way or the other. As I mentioned before, research is not supposed to be meant for just conducting a study and publishing it. Rather, it should bring in solution for various problems. If it does not bring a solution for a problem, then there is no point of having a new information, having a new product, new services. Definitely, it would have been worthwhile to leave the situation as it is without doing any research. So whenever you are doing a research, you will have to ask yourself, what is the research problem which I'm trying to address? And by addressing this research problem, what kind of solutions which I'm going to come out of it? And whether the solution is going to be better or it's going to be poor than the existing solution which is already there. Definitely, the solution has to be better. Then only there is sense towards spending your valuable time, money, and energy to conduct various research. So far I explained to you the concept of research opportunities, when and why the research is required, the concept of impactful research, how it is actually helps you to create solution for various problems so that the stakeholders, including you, can be easily benefited from any of the research endeavors. So I'm going to present a list of 20 research opportunities based on my own analysis, which I have done, considering both professional as well as personal examples. The research problem here is, I'm sure all of you would come across a brand called as ID. ID initially started in Bangalore. I'm very proud to say that. And they started with idli batter, then they moved on to dosa batter, then vada batter, then they moved on to refined parathas, and then whole wheat parathas, then they moved on to coffee decoction. So there were a lot of products which ID was actually introducing into the market. When you look at all the product what ID had introduced, they have clearly taken the problem which were faced by the customers, and they worked on the problem. They came out with a solution so that the customers can have better product in the hand. So one of the recent product which was introduced by ID brand is ID bread. The problem what they have seen from the bread which is there in the market today is almost all of the bread, including from the top manufacturers, as emulsifiers, it has acidity regulators, it has got flaw treatment agents, antioxidants, and class 2 preservatives. Many of the consumers before COVID-19, before pandemic, never used to read labels. Nowadays, consumers are reading labels and they are becoming very, very health conscious. They really do not want to eat any of the products which is going to cause adverse effect to the health. All these products, such as emulsifiers, acidity regulators, flaw treatment agents, antioxidants, class 2 preservatives, are considered to be artificial. Since the consumers are going for health conscious products, creating a product with all these artificial ingredients, it's going to have rejection from the consumers. So ID brands have come out with a product which does not have any of this. They do not have emulsifiers, they do not have acidity regulators, they do not have flawed treatment agents, they really do not have antioxidants, they do not use any kind of preservatives at all. Do you think it would have been easy for ID brand to come out with this ID bread just like that? They would have spent so much of time, money, and energy to create a bread without using any of the artificial ingredients which are prevalently used by other manufacturers in the market. So ID has focused on creating a product which does not have any kind of artificial ingredients. Is it the end of it? Is it the end of research with regards to product which came out from ID Fresh? No. What are the other research opportunities which are available for you? You can come out with an eco-friendly packing. Most of the packing which are used in today's market is made of plastic, and these plastics are considered to be very, very harmful. And there are sometimes the plastic order gets mixed with the food products. So is it possible for you to come out with eco-friendly packing? They have innovated on how to create ID bread without any kind of artificial ingredients. But is it possible for you to create an eco-friendly packing which could be used by this ID bread? Is it possible for you to come out with unique ways to market the product? I'm sure many of you watching this presentation may not be knowing about the concept of ID bread because it's quite new in the market. It is available only in a few of the stores. So it's very important for this ID bread to find ways to uniquely market this product. So you can conduct a research to understand how this ID bread can be uniquely promoted in the market so that more customers gets to know about this bread which does not have any kind of artificial ingredients, and they can able to purchase this bread. How to enhance the shelf life period of the bread? In case if you're not using any kind of class 2 preservatives, I'm sure the shelf life of the bread tends to be lower. So is it possible for you to research after using the natural ingredients? Is it possible is it possible to enhance the shelf life period of the bread without using any kind of preservatives? It's one of the excellent research opportunities which you can think of. Is it possible to create different types of bread apart from white bread and brown bread or a multigrain bread? Is it possible to create different type of bread? Now, is it possible to create a traceability option? See, in the label, they are saying that they are not using any kind of emulsifiers, they are not using any kind of acidity regulators, they are not using any kind of flaw treatment agents, antioxidants, class 2 preservatives. But how the consumers are going to believe it? So is it possible for you as a budding researcher, can you create a traceability option wherein the consumers can actually know how this particular product is prepared without any kind of artificial ingredients? Is it possible for you to research on option to replace harmful ingredients which are used by other bakers? Most of the bakers are using these emulsifiers, acidity regulators, and other artificial ingredients. It is because they really do not have any other option. ID bread, the secret what they have found to prepare a bread without all these artificial ingredients, they may not be willing to share with other bread manufacturers in the market. So you as a researcher, is it possible for you to come out with substitution for emulsifier, come out with a substitution for acidity regulators so that the other manufacturers also can use the ingredients what you are going to create out of your research so that everyone can involve in creating healthy bread which will create in health and wellness for the people in the society. So, like the way how ID Bread have focused on addressing a particular problem, you also can think about how you can able to work on this particular idea, come out with the different ways how this product can actually be enhanced further. So these are the some of the opportunities what I have listed now, which you can think of. It not necessary that you have to be someone related to the discipline to research on bread. You could be interdisciplinary also. You can actually like work on this particular research opportunity. Research opportunity number two is waste management. Especially in India, other developed nations, they really have a standard framework to manage the waste. But only in India, you can find the waste everywhere, like human beings are everywhere. Still now, we have not figured out the way how we are going to manage the waste which are coming out of our houses, which are coming out of the industries. It is one of the perennial problem which is faced by different regions in India, not just in one particular region, different regions of India. People do not have any kind of clue. If we are going to let this situation continue, definitely it is going to create a lot of pollution. It is going to eventually lead to various health related disorders for all of us. So, what are the opportunities which are available when it comes to researching in waste management is concerned? Is it possible for you to come out with segregation tool? Just imagine if you have been asked to segregate the garbage which was piled on the road, would you do that? Will it be very easy to segregate? So is it possible for you to come out with a segregation tool? Or is it possible to research on a segregation technique? Although we have a technique of segregating the waste based on its composition nature, but how many of us do actually practice at our home? How many of us actually segregate the wet waste separate, dry waste separate, biodegradable waste separate, non-biodegradable waste separate? So is it possible for you to come out with an interesting segregation technique through your research? It's wonderful. Is it possible for you to come out with a decomposition or recycling option of this kind of waste which are actually mixed and piled up? Is it possible for you to come out with a disposal option apart from the government municipality corporation coming and collecting the house? What are the various disposal options which can be kept for the citizens of this country so that they can able to dispose that garbage more effectively? Is it possible for you to research on that? How about coming out with some sort of technological tools in order to manage this waste? How about production of biofuel by using this waste? How about creation of fertilizers? I'm sure waste is not waste until you consider it as a waste. It is possible if you have a separate process of creating a fertilizers. It is very much possible for you to create fertilizers which can be actually used for plants. Is it possible for you to come out with an option to reduce the hazard which this waste causes to the human beings and wild animals? I've seen a lot of cows, other cattle fields standing on the road and eating the garbages which has been thrown on the road. This cattle feed, when they are eating the garbages, definitely it is going to affect their health. And in turn, if you are actually like consuming the milk or the meat which comes from this cattle feed, definitely it's going to create the health disorder for us as well. Is it possible for you to research on how to avoid air, water, and soil pollution because of this waste? So these are some of the research opportunities which are available when it comes to the waste management is concerned. Even if you are choosing one particular opportunity, if you are able to thoroughly study, if you are able to come out with a solution, you will able to at least reduce the problem of waste management in our country. Research opportunity number 3, which is COVID management. I'm sure after COVID-19 has emerged in India, people are trying different things And still, the third wave, which is expected to come, it does not come. We are very thankful about it. But is it possible for you still to research on coming out with a direction kit? People are saying that, the experts are saying that COVID-19 is going to be not disappearing, it is going to be a part of us, and we'll be learning to live with it. So, is it possible for you to come out with a direction kit which is very cost effective? Is it possible to come out with a prevention device? Apart from using the mask, is there any other prevention device which could be created which will help you to manage the COVID-19 effectively? Is it possible for you to do a research on COVID-19 management techniques in homes, institutions, and industries? Is it possible for you to come out with a vaccine which is very, very effective in developing the antibodies for effective fighting of COVID-19 19 virus? Is it possible for you to research on post-COVID-19 recovery techniques? Definitely, it is very much required. I've heard a lot of people after recovering from COVID-19, they are suffering from various health and mental related disorders. So, is it possible for you to research in this area on how people can actually manage the post COVID-19 recovery period? Is it possible for you to research on awareness and support level of citizens with regards to COVID-19 management? When the government has imposed lockdown, there were a lot of people who actually broke the rule. They came out of the house. They were not maintaining any kind of distance. Even today, there are people who are trying to violate. So, is it possible for you to research on understanding how the citizens of this particular country are supporting the government to manage COVID-19, and how is that awareness level with regards to COVID-19 management is concerned? And also, you can do research on role of media and COVID-19, whether media actually help to prevent, to control, to reduce the impact of COVID-19. You can do a research on this. So these are some of the opportunities which are available when it comes to COVID-19 management is concerned. Opportunity number 4, which is hunger and malnutrition. If you look at it on the picture on the left-hand side, you and me are very happy to have food in all the 3 meals, but not everyone is having the life what we have been blessed. So is it possible for you to work on this particular area, hunger and malnutrition reduction? What are the opportunities which are available? Is it possible to come out with a food supply chain? Is it possible to come out with the concept of fortified food? At home, we have different food. We are able to balance our nutrition through which we do not have any kind of nutritional deficiency. But for poor children, for people from a poor economic background, they really do not have any kind of variety in their food. Definitely, it leads to various malnutrition related issue. So is it possible to come out with a concept of fortified food which helps to develop a balanced nutrition to their body? How seasonal food could be a solution for tackling the hunger and malnutrition? You can do your research on that. Integration between the states. Is it possible for you to develop a model how integration can happen between the states? Most of the times, the agriculture produce of a particular state gets wasted because there is lack of transportation, lack of collaboration between the states. So is it possible to have an integration between the states through which any kind of excess agriculture produce could be transported to the other state which is in the need, through which you will be able to reduce the hunger as well as malnutrition? The role of education in hunger and malnutrition, again, it could be one of your research opportunity. How social entrepreneurship can be a game changer when it comes to reducing hunger and malnutrition. I'm sure you all must have heard about concept called as Akshaya Patra. Is it possible to come out with so many other social entrepreneurs who could actually help and support people who are suffering from hunger and malnutrition? This also could be one of the research opportunity. How about government involvement in reducing hunger and malnutrition? Again, you can take this as one of the research topic. How about introducing a concept of food forest? In India, we have land, we have water, and we have resources. Instead of instead of cultivating trees which is not going to yield us foods, why can't we cultivate trees which can give us fruits? So how about coming up with the concept of food forests? Again, this could be taken as one of the research opportunity. Tie up with food industries. Most of the food industries, I'm sure, they would be having a lot of food product which actually produced in excess. So is it possible to integrate with this food industry so that people who are suffering from hunger and malnutrition can be easily balanced with some of the food from this food industries? So these are some of the opportunities which are available when it comes to research related to hunger and malnutrition. Research opportunity number 5, violence against women and children. I'm sure all of you would have come across a news day in, day out, wherein there is an harassment, there is a rape, there is an acid victim. There are a lot of unlawful incidents, especially committed for women and children. Is there a scope of conducting research in this area so that better knowledge is available for the people to reduce the violence against women and children? So what are the opportunities which are available when it comes to research is concerned? You can do study on attitude and behavior. You can come out with a technological device which will helps to detect and minimize the violence against women and children. Is it possible for you to come out with a unique sign language which could be used by women and children, especially when they are facing any kind of violence, in order to communicate indirectly to the trusted people? The role of education and awareness against violence against women and children could be one of the research opportunity. Understanding the nature of violence and the solution development. There are not many of the studies which are available in India. People are so selfish that they are just focusing on their life. They feel that their life is completely at peace. So why should we want to bother about it? Until otherwise we are going to care for our fellow human beings, there is not going to be any kind of peace. There is not going to be any kind of overall sustainable development in our nation. So is it possible for us to understand the nature of violence, and is it possible for us to develop a solution for that? Is it possible for you to research on self-defense training which could be given for women and children to safeguard themselves when it comes to any kind of violence is concerned? This also could be one of the research opportunity. Research opportunity number 6, water shortage. The water shortage in India is expected to increase. Is it possible for you to work on this area in order to understand how this water shortage can be easily tackled for the present as well as for the future? So what are the research opportunities which are available? Understanding the reasons for water shortage. It could be because of the overuse of the water, or it could be because of increasing the population, or it could be because of reduction of the trees. It could be because of various climatic related reasons. So you can conduct research to understand why there is a water shortage. You can conduct research to come out with the concept how to increase the groundwater levels. If the groundwater levels are at high, definitely the water shortage problem can be easily tackled. So you can do research on how groundwater can be easily elevated. How to save water using techniques such as rainwater harvesting. Many of the homes have rainwater harvesting system, but how many homes actually have functional rainwater harvesting system? Only for constructing the house, only for meeting the compliances, people try to create this system, but actually it is not being used. So is it possible for you to come up with some other method how the water could be harvested during the rainy season? The role of education and awareness when it comes to the water shortage could be one of the research opportunity. Water shortage and its relationship with the population or trees, again, could be considered as one of the topic for conducting research. Water generation from the surrounding air. Many of the foreign nations are working on a very interesting project wherein you can able to extract water from the surrounding air. So is it possible for you to come out with a concept similar to that in India, in a place where there is a water shortage, so that people can actually find an alternative of groundwater through which they can generate water from the surrounding air itself? Is it possible to research on some of the water management techniques and report those techniques which could be followed by the people? So these are some of the opportunities which are available when it comes to water shortage is concerned. And it is one of the most important area which you all should focus in order to conduct research is concerned. Coming to research opportunity number 7, which is the diabetes. India is considered as the diabetes capital of the world. Even born children at the age of 5, 10, they are suffering from diabetes. Just imagine if people are suffering from diabetes at an early age, imagine how would be their life, imagine how would be their elderly life. It's going to be very, very difficult. So you have wonderful opportunity to understand that diabetes is concerned when it comes to our Indian population. What are the root causes of diabetes? Is it because of the lifestyle, or it is because of the food, or it is because of the stress, or it is because of the hormones, or it is because of the hereditary? There are a lot of studies which are required to understand the root cause of diabetes, especially in the Indian context. Is it possible for you to conduct research on diabetes management techniques? Many of the people, the moment they get diabetes, they tend to take allopathy tablets, they tend to take insulin, but that's not only the solution. Are there any kind of other solutions which are available? You can actually research and come out with an interesting techniques to manage diabetes. Usage of technology in diabetes management. Is it possible for you to come out with a device which is very cost effective? Nowadays, if you want to buy a machine to check your blood sugar, you will have to spend more than 1,500 to 2,000 rupees. Is it possible for a person from a backward family to afford that 1,500, 2,000 rupees? It's going to be very, very difficult. So is it possible for you to come out with a cost-effective technology to manage diabetes? It could be a excellent opportunity for research. Diabetes-friendly food and beverages. There are a lot of food and beverages which could be prepared to control and to combat diabetes. So is it possible for you to work on this particular area? Innovative exercise for diabetes management. Apart from food, apart from drug, if people are involving in exercise, their insulin level in the body can be easily regulated. So is it possible for you to do a research on what are the innovative exercise which could be given for the people who are having diabetes? That also could be considered as a research objective. Substitute for insulin. Apart from insulin, is there any other options which are available? Substitute for allopathy medicine. The allopathy medicine is considered to be most dangerous because apart from helping you to recover from diabetes, it also damages various other vital organs in your body. So is it possible for you to come out with any kind of substitute for allopathy medicine? This also could be considered as a research opportunity. How about diabetes-friendly apparels? It's not just about food or drug. It's not about just an exercise. Is it possible for you to come out with a fabric which helps you to regulate the insulin production in your body? That also could be one of the interesting opportunity for research is concerned. Research opportunity number 8, restoration of tourist destination. India is known for rich in heritage in all the regions of India. But unfortunately, most of the tourist destinations are unknown to the people. It is because no one have actually researched on those destinations which are located in the remote areas. So is it possible for you to come out with a research which helps to discover the hidden tourist destination, number one? And just because people are not taking care of those destinations, the quality of that destination is slowly degrading. So is it possible for you to conduct a research to understand the reason for destruction of tourist destinations? What are the innovative ways to restore tourist destinations? How to promote tourist destinations? How to enhance the attraction in the tourist destination? This also could be considered as one of the research opportunity worth researching. Research opportunity number 9, COVID-19 transformation. After COVID-19 came into picture, the way how we live in our personal life, the way how we work, the way how you study, everything is completely transformed. So definitely there is a need to understand this transformation. So is it possible to understand the COVID-19 transformation when it comes to the product and service production is concerned? COVID-19 product and service consumption is concerned, as I mentioned before, nowadays people are going for healthy, immunity boosting food. They are not worrying about spending extra. So, is it possible for you to understand product and service consumption after COVID-19 pandemic? Impact of COVID-19 on employment. Economy. This also could be considered an interesting research opportunity. Of COVID-19 on various sectors. This also would be considered a research opportunity. The knowledge of these particular areas is very, very limited, and still it is in a very nascent stage. And if you're someone who's watching this video, you can definitely do research on all these opportunities which I have mentioned now. You will have an excellent implications for the stakeholders. Research opportunity number 10, which is promotion of traditional apparels of India. Due to globalization, due to westernization, our desire to go for apparels which comes from foreign countries have recently increased. So is it possible for us to revive the traditional dress which were originated in India, which were very used in India? Those days people had used a traditional dress, not just only form of a style or a design, but these traditional dresses had a lot of health benefits for us. So is it possible for you to research on customer perception on traditional dresses, apparel usage trends across India, health benefits of apparels, as I mentioned you now, apparels and the history. Each and every apparels had history behind it. Most of the time, the apparels were prepared based on the materials which were available in a particular locality. So is it possible for you to research on that area? How to come out with unique promotions to actually promote this traditional Indian dress? How to revive traditional apparels could be one of the research opportunity. Research opportunity number 11, how to detect and manage fake news. I'm sure due to the advancement of technology as well as digitalization, people are finding fake news in every place, which is leading to various problems. So is it possible for you to research to understand how to detect fake news, how to trace the origin of the fake news, impact of fake news on people, role of education and awareness in order to handle that fake news, role of laws and regulation in curbing fake news. These are some of the research opportunities which could be considered. Because of the fake news, many of the people have actually lost their life. So is it possible for you to work on that area? Research opportunity number 12, how to enhance English communication skills of rural students. Here, you have an opportunity to understand the reasons for the lack of communication skills of the students. Because of various reasons, this could have been resulted. This could be because of the lack of resources. It could be the books, or it could be a lack of teachers who are there in the rural community. Role of training in enhancing communication skills. Is it possible to work on this area? I'm sure the training would play a very important role in enhancing the communication skills of the rural students. Use of technology to develop communication skills. How technology can be used by the rural students, which are very, very cost effective. This also again can be considered as a research opportunity. Innovative ways to reach out to rural India. Since we have technology, since they are blessed, we have laptop, we have internet, we have everything, it's going to be much easier for us to develop communication skills. But how about children who are studying in a rural village who do not have access to the basic amenities? So you can very well work on this particular research area, which will have significant implications for students, especially from rural area. Research opportunity number 13, which is AI and business transformation. It deals with the adoption of AI and the personal life. I'm sure the artificial intelligence has actually resulted in various transformation in the way how the business are actually happening in our country. So it's very important for us to understand how people have adopted AI both in the business as well as personal life, which will help to know how far AI is positively influenced or negatively influenced. Impact of AI on business and personal life also could be considered as one of the research opportunity. Success of the AI to achieve desired outcome. Is it possible for artificial intelligence to achieve a desired outcome? Could be considered as one of the opportunity. Trends in artificial intelligence management could be considered as one of the research opportunity. So these are some of the research opportunities which you can definitely explore when it comes to artificial intelligence is concerned. Research opportunity number 14, which is increasing bone-related problems. I'm sure even the children today are facing a lot of bone-related problems. So is it possible for you to work on this area in order to tackle this problem? What are the research opportunities which are possible? Reason for increase in bone-related problems could be one of your research opportunity. Innovative clinical and non-clinical management techniques for bone-related problems could be one of the research opportunity. Role of bone-friendly foods, apart from exercise, apart from giving various treatments, is it possible for you to enhance the quality of the bones, enhance the strength of the bones so that people do not suffer from any kind of bone-related problems? Role of exercise in managing healthy bone. This also could be explored as one of the research problem. Apart from the research opportunities, what I've stated, there are other research opportunities also which you can able to explore. One is traffic management. I'm sure all of you would agree in India, our traffic management is not same as how it is in the European countries or in a developed nation. Still, there is a need for us to come out with innovative solution how the traffic could be managed in India. How about food adulteration? There is no guarantee the food what we are consuming today it's not adulterated. There are every reason possible for people to adulterate our food. So is it possible for you to come out with some of the methodology how this adulteration could be stopped? This also could be considered as one of the research opportunity. Terrorist attack. I'm sure you all would remember the Taj Mahal Hotel when it was hit by terrorists. A lot of people have lost their life. So is it possible to work on this area to understand how people can easily detect any kind of terrorist attack plans, or if at all when terrorist attack happens, how it could be easily tackled, could be considered as one of the research opportunity. Reduction of rupee value. We say as proud Indians, we say as a proud India, but how many of us knows that our rupee value is slowly declining? So is it possible for us to come out with a research to understand why the rupee is falling against the dollar and how it could be increased in the near future? Other research opportunities includes increasing food wastages. One side, people are suffering from malnutrition, hunger. The other side, people are wasting the food. So is it possible to do a research on why there is an increasing food wastages, how this could be easily tackled? The other research opportunity is dipping air quality. There are studies which says that the average lifespan of Indian tends to be reducing year on year. It is because of pollution in the air. So is it possible to work on this area? Could be one of the interesting avenues for us to contribute to the health and wellness of the citizens of this country. Human trafficking. It's one of the most perennial problem. Many of the women, girls, children are exported. They are abused. They are slaved. So is it possible for you to work on human trafficking so that you'll able to find solution to handle this perennial problem? Theft and corruption. Due to unemployment, there has been a lot of theft and corruption. So is it possible to work on this area so that you can able to reduce the incidence of theft and corruption? So these are some of the research opportunities which I have briefly reported based on the problem faced in our country. I'm glad to say that India has climbed 2 spots to 46 in the Global Innovation Index, reported by the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, in the year 2021. Our country is progressing towards being the number one when it comes to innovation when compared to other countries across the globe. It has been constantly increasing in its ranking right from the year 2015. It was in the rank 81, and in 2021 we are in the rank 46. So definitely with the research opportunities which I have mentioned in this presentation, if you are able to work on at least one research opportunities and one area in the research opportunities, you will able to create innovation which will able to address the problems which are faced in the society, through which we as a nation can live a peaceful life and happy and a prosperous life, and also we can portray the intellectual ability of Indians on the global map. With this, I'm ending my today's session. Happy learning, have a great day, and stay safe.